Now, page 4, the non-essential United States Congress. Members of Congress have been given another long period of time not voting on bills, not giving floor speeches, not holding committee hearings, not spending money that we do not have. I guess this means that our representatives are non-essential. I've seen videos posted by AOC mixing drinks. She was teaching us how to make a margarita while arguing for a rent holiday for all Americans. I've seen Rashida Tlaib railing against the President of the United States, a good, safe distance from the White House. Detroit, that area. Tlaib is pushing for giving illegal aliens our taxpayer dollars in the name of corona relief. And then there's Nancy Pelosi holding telephone conference calls and attempting to use Skype, which is rather funny, telling us how many more trillions of dollars we must spend in order to save America from itself. Speaker of the House has issued an edict from the coronavirus-free confines of her winery in Northern California. Pelosi has decreed that the House of Representatives shall be in recess until May 4. Mitch McConnell and the Senate just matched that stay-at-home order for the United States Senate. Now, remember, this bunch voted on the so-called stimulus in early to mid-March and then got out of Dodge as fast as you can say $2.2 trillion. They headed back to their homes in New York and Colorado and Illinois and Oregon and California, wherever. You see, it's much safer for them at home under house arrest. What a bunch of cowards. Congress should be front and center right now in the middle of this government-created social and economic calamity. Some of us are not afraid to keep this country functioning. Some of us are not cowards. We are the so-called essential personnel who are not afraid to go to work and do our jobs. These include truck drivers who are hauling toilet paper and angel hair pasta noodles so that my neighbors can hoard them. The gas station attendants at Costco who are tirelessly wiping down every handle we lift and every button we touch. The grocery store clerks who could be asking their union shop stewards for a work deferment but are not. Instead, they're on the job, ringing up that hoarded toilet paper and pasta noodles. Nurses, mail carriers, how about pilots and flight attendants? They're still in the air. All of these Americans are still on the job. They're all doing their part to keep the economy functioning, albeit in crisis mode. Members of Congress are using toilet paper and pumping Costco gas and going to grocery stores shopping, aren't they? Have they no shame? Do they not have any guilt that these other Americans are pumping taxpayer dollars into the system while they sit back and get paid a full salary along with all of the other government employees? There is no financial harm coming to these government workers. Their restaurant is not failing. Their hair or nail salon is not being boarded up for good. Their financial health is not in ruins. It takes a lot of gall, a lot of chutzpah to do what Congress is doing right now. However, at least they're not impeaching an innocent president, right? At least Congress is not weaponizing its committees and the Constitution in order to advance its radical agenda. At least these temporary politicians are not spending trillions of dollars that we do not have. So yeah, come to think of it, maybe it's much safer for us that Congress is at home under house arrest, and much better for this republic that Congress is clearly non-essential. This way, reckless spendaholics like this guy Richard Neal of Massachusetts cannot run up the deficit and the debt.
We had, I think, bold authorship of phase 2 and phase 3.
Stop the tape.
And I will
stop the tape. So here's a guy, he's spiking the football. Sorry to use a sports analogy in the middle of a sports shutdown, but he's spiking the football over spending $2.5 trillion, most of which we know did not go to the American people, most of which we know did not go help those restaurants that are going out of business, most of which did not help these businesses that have been shut down because of government. This is a government-induced calamity. These governors, and by the way, it's the governors of these states, mostly blue, some red states, that are issuing these edicts. The President of the United States has given guidelines. For example, hey, don't travel right now in an airplane unless it's absolutely necessary and for business. In other words, discretionary travel is being discouraged. It's not being eliminated. The President's also saying, hey, if you can work from home, work from home. If you can't, keep the economy functioning. That's common sense, right? Nope, that's not what the governors are saying. The governors are saying, sorry, tough luck. Unless I deem you essential, like a marijuana distribution service, that's deemed essential. Unbelievably, marijuana is essential, but apparently other aspects of our society, like a restaurant, is not essential. So they shut that down and say, oh, you can do takeout, and most of these restaurants are not going to survive. The bottom line is these draconian edicts are coming from the state level. They are not, repeat, not coming from the federal level. And when the history books are written, they better get it right that these draconian edicts of shutting down most of America are coming from the governors, and mostly from blue state governors, not from President Trump. In a lot of ways, the president is powerless here. He can give guidelines, and then the governors can do whatever the heck they want. In a way, this is exposing possibly what you might call a flaw in our federalist system, right? We have a wonderful federalist system set up by the framers of the Constitution, and they wanted to make sure that the federal government was not all too powerful. And in this case, it's unfortunate, because we have a president who behind the scenes, I guarantee it, I have no proof of this, I just have studied Donald Trump, and I understand him. He's chomping at the bit to reopen our society and reopen the economy and get people back to work, because he knows what he stated long time ago during this episode is becoming true, that the cure is becoming more damaging than the problem, the virus itself. That's what we're living through right now. So you have the President of the United States chomping at the bit to tell Americans to go back to living their lives and go watch a baseball game and go eat at a restaurant and go live your life. But we have the blue state governors in particular saying, no way, no hell, we are going to restrict your constitutional rights, and you're not allowed to live your lives until we say so. This is what's going on right now in America. And caught in between are we the people. So this is your moment, Californians, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican. This is your moment, people of New York, whether you are a Democrat or Republican. Your moment, Illinois, Democrat or Republican. Colorado, same thing. Michigan, same thing. This is your moment to rise up and say, you know what? We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We need our lives back. You are not going to deny us of our constitutional rights. We can handle this. We are Americans. So, if there's a silver lining to all of this, maybe it's that we have learned something about functioning without Congress. Is your life better or worse without these temporary politicians in Washington, D.C.? Arguably, demonstrably better. Maybe we've discovered and opened up a new paradigm for federal government. Who knows? A part-time Congress.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.